The internet personality has a lot more potential and opportunity for entrepreneurial growth because they're not limited by the physical self. What's up, everybody? It's Nick back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over entrepreneurship and why you should be a content creator. That might sound like two completely different topics, but in today's day and age, they're exactly the same thing. So if you're interested in why you should be a content creator and how entrepreneurship and content creation are now the same thing, this is the video for you. Let's get into it. All right, guys, here I am back with another video, and I promised at the beginning when I started this channel that this wasn't just going to be a fitness channel. This was going to be also about personal finance, entrepreneurship, and personal development. So today's video is going to be about entrepreneurship and personal finance, and it's going to be through the lens of content creation. Why is being a content creator the same as entrepreneurship in today's day and age? In the 21st century, and like more recently probably since the invention and proliferation of Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all the different social media apps, there has been the opportunity to have your real self and your virtual self. And your real self is the person that in the past would be the one building a business, would be the one either knocking door to door to generate sales, getting a loan out, a small business loan to start a business, working their way up to the top of the company, all these different things. That's your physical self, that's your real person. Now we have our internet self, our person that lives online, the person that you see on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all the other social media outlets. TikTok now is massive. The internet personality has a lot more potential and opportunity for entrepreneurial growth because they're not limited by the physical self. The internet version of ourselves can interact with billions of people around the world at any moment. And that potential, that opportunity to network is why being a content creator is now the same as entrepreneurship. Because being a content creator is basically putting yourself out into the world, which then allows you to provide services, provide recommendations, be a brand ambassador, sell your product, market your business, whatever, because you have that personal brand online because you are a content creator. Being a content creator, I believe in this day and age, is the most lucrative, the number one way to build wealth. Now, once you have that wealth, I think there's better ways to make that wealth last, to create generational wealth, because once you stop making content, and once your internet brand or personality dies because the internet moves so fast, income and wealth die with it, right? So, and we'll get into what I think you should do once you build your internet brand and your content creating, niche and all that stuff. But to start off, if you're an entrepreneur and you are looking to build wealth and become wealthy, being a content creator is pretty much, I think, the number one way to do it in today's day and age. First of all, you have the fact that every social media network is growing and it's adding more people from around the world each and every day. Each new generation that starts using social media is adding to that pool of people, right? Because that's what they grow up with, that's what they know. And so you present yourself the opportunity to be recognized or noticed or followed, right? Followed by millions, and if not billions of people. And so that's huge. That's the cornerstone of why I think the content creation space is so lucrative, right? But now I want to pose an example of how you can use any sort of following you have to generate massive amounts of wealth. So let's say you have a meager following of 10,000 followers, right? That's very meager. That's doable. Any sort of, justified effort or even a series of good posts could get you 10,000 followers. And only 10% are diehard followers, 10%. And if you were to sell something or be a brand ambassador for something, and you were to get $10 off each of those 1,000 followers that rock with you no matter what, so 1,000 out of the 10,000, right? That's 10%. And you sell something for $10, or you do affiliate marketing and you get $10 of each sale. That's $10,000 that you just made just putting information out onto the internet. I mean, that's mind-boggling. Like that's insane. $10,000 is life-changing money for people. And so you look at people that have 100,000 followers, 1 million followers, and they were just everyday people. They're not celebrities. They weren't born into wealth, but their potential for making massive amounts of money is there because of the following that they've generated. I didn't like social media. I thought it was this really fake space where people were kind of like just showing the best of themselves and not being honest and not being genuine. But I also am an entrepreneur and I'm very business minded, and I want to grow my wealth and I want to become wealthy and I want to provide that generational wealth for my family. I want to help others. I want to donate to charities. I want to be a philanthropist. I want to do all these things. It came to my attention that, wait a second, there's people online that are making a ton of money, and they really created that out of nowhere. Now, obviously you have to put in work. Obviously you have to dedicate time to being recognized and being noticed. What fascinated me was the fact that a lot of these people were doing what they loved on a daily basis and just documenting it, right? So they're doing what they love and they're just showing other people that they're doing what they love. And people relate to that. They find it relatable. They enjoy that content. And so they start to follow them. They start to respect them. They start to really like them. And when people respect you, follow you, and like you, and recognize you as a leader in whatever sort of community you're in, whatever sort of niche you're in, they're more likely to take your recommendation. They're more likely to buy a product that you're marketing. They're more likely to buy your products. Tying all that together, I was like, wait a second, this is an insane business opportunity. This is something that I need to be doing, because nowhere else, no other business, no other entrepreneurial venture allows that exponential growth and that sort of revenue from pretty much nothing, specifically doing what you love. Speaking to just, being an entrepreneur, there's this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And if you haven't read it, you need to read this, because this is a life-changing book. He talks about 4 quadrants, or the cash flow quadrant, right? And that cash flow quadrant is that there's employees, self-employed, business owners, and investors. Most people are employees. They work for a business. They work for somebody else. A lot of people are self-employed, and actually the self-employed quadrant is growing faster than any other quadrant. A lot of people are leaving the corporate jobs to do something for themselves on their own, which I think is beautiful. But it's not really where you want to end up, okay? Some people take the path of employee to self-employed to business owner because they're able to scale and grow their business and build a team. And that's great, and that's the path that you should probably take. But you could also go from employee to business owner. And how can you do that? I think you can do it by building an online brand and building an online presence. You can, your brand and who you are can become a business through social media, which is crazy, because that's not something that has ever been possible before. Moving on to investor, right? We talked about employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. An investor is someone that takes their money and invests it somewhere else, and that money grows because it's compounding interest, you're receiving dividends, you're receiving rent. Once you have generated wealth as a content creator, what you need to be doing is investing that money in stocks, preferably through a 401k or Roth IRA. Started with the Robinhood thing, trying to, find the next stock that was going to go to the moon, whatever. And I realized we don't have any control of that. The suits have all the control. The big banks, the big businesses, the government, they have all the control. So trying to beat the system, you can try all you want. It's not going to work. So realistically, put it in an index fund and let it sit there and grow. If you don't need the money, put it in there, let it grow. You've been a content creator, you've turned it into an entrepreneurial venture, you've generated wealth. What you need to do is invest in real estate. In America, it's the #1 way that you can grow your wealth, right? So I think being a content creator is the quickest, best, most fun way that you can generate wealth. But to grow it and to create generational wealth, it's real estate. And so this is another book that I've read called The Book on Rental Property Investing by Brandon Turner over at Bigger Pockets. Check this one out. Great book, kind of goes through the fundamentals of how to build a rental property business. You're an investor when you're buying homes and you're collecting rent. It's a business when you start to scale it to the next level, when you have to build a team, when you have someone finding leads, when you have a real estate agent that you always go to that works with you, that finds you deals, then it can become a business of its own. But if you're just buying properties here and there, renting them out, then you're an investor. And so that's another way you're growing your wealth, right? How does this tie all together? I've kind of made the key points: content creating, being an entrepreneur, and investing that money that you're growing. That's literally what I'm trying to do. I tried to skip steps. I tried to skip being an entrepreneur. I tried to go straight to investor. I work a 9-to-5 job. I make decent money as an engineer, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy a house as soon as I possibly can. Well, the housing market skyrocketed, and I realized that it would be a very huge risk if I were to just buy a house with all the money I had and hope to rent it out and hope to start like generating revenue. Very huge risk, because what if no one were to rent it out? I'd be paying rent on a property all out of my own pocket. I'd have to work just to make sure that rent was getting paid. Do I do that, or do I do something else with a lot lower capital investment that I know will eventually make me money, as long as I'm consistent, as long as I'm driven with it, as long as I put my mind to it? And that's when I thought, okay, I'm gonna do this content creation thing. So I'm doing it, and my goal is to create a personal brand that is focused around fitness, personal development, personal growth, entrepreneurship. Those key topics of discussion will not only help others, which is my main goal, is to help others, but it'll also remind me why I'm doing this. And that's why I encourage you to be a content creator, because if you become a content creator, then you can share your story, and people can start to follow you, and people can start to like your ideas, and then you can start to generate revenue from that following. And then once you generate revenue from that following, you can build wealth through investing. And that is a beautiful thing, because you've created a lot of something out of nothing. You've created a lot of something, maybe not even out of nothing, but you've created a lot of something out of something you like to do. If you are making content about things you enjoy doing, and people also enjoy, so they watch it, it's a win-win-win. You're having fun, you're creating great content for people to view and entertain, and you're making money in the process and building generational wealth. It's a triple, quadruple win. So that's my call to action. That's why I think you should be a content creator, because you can use it to be an entrepreneur, and you can use that entrepreneurship and that revenue to build wealth and set you up for the future, set you up forever. So that's what I plan to do. I hope you plan to do it too. Hit me in the comments if you like this video. Please hit that thumbs up button. This right here. This is what you want to hit. It looks just like this. Hit that for me. Hit the subscribe button if you've been enjoying my content. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.